Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Back in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, where I like it very much. It's very nice. You know, I want to make you guys pay attention to this, okay? Pay attention. This is what's coming. You need to know this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this story. This is from Huffington Post yesterday. We had it on Freedom Sync somewhere. And what does it say? Mikhail Gorbachev criticizes Vladimir Putin, says Russia needs change. We got to have us a regime change. We got... You know, Mikhail Gorbachev, heck, even Mikhail Gorbachev says we got to go have regime change in Russia. Are you freaking kidding me? You know, all right, here we go. Former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev criticized the government on Wednesday for taking Russia backward and said that the nation needs free elections and fresh leadership. He was speaking ahead of the 20th anniversary of August 19th, 1991 hardline coup that briefly ousted him and precipitated the collapse of the Soviet Union. Gorbachev, who turned 80 in March and underwent spinal surgery in April, looked strong and spoke energetically during a news conference that lasted more than an hour. Gorbachev criticized the United Russia Party led by Prime Minister Vladimir Putin, which he described as a bad copy of the Soviet Communist Party. He said Russia needs to restore direct elections of governors and of individual seats in parliament, which were abolished during Putin's presidency. Honest elections are needed. Single ballot elections, elections of governors, Gorbachev said. People must have a feeling that something depends on them, blah, 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 blah. Regime change for Russia. Seriously? Yeah, I mean, what? You know, Syria? You know, today Syria, tomorrow the world? You know, wow. Wow, this is never going to stop. Who's doing this? What's behind all this? Why are they doing this? I mean, and then we have, you know, here's something of interest I think, you know, we need to know about. We'll just go through a lot of this. I don't have many in particular order, but let's go ahead and just do this. Palin. I'm still considering a run for president, like she ever didn't think of doing it. For those harboring hopes of Sarah Palin entering the race for 2012, your wishes may still come true. On Sean Hannity's show last night in Iowa, the former governor of Alaska was asked directly by the Fox commentator on the question. Some are still curious to know about her future. Palin did not hesitate to provide a straight answer. I am still considering a run. Blah, blah, blah. Why? You know, oh, and don't forget about, you know, Jordan Page saying, oh, we're up to $1,000 of $2,500, so we're doing okay there. Yeah, go give $10. You know, George, go to oathkeepers.com, because if we can't beat this and fight this at a local level, you know, how are we going to do it any other way? You know, a lot of it's just between the ears, man. I'm telling you, if you don't understand what's going on. Because what happens? Well, there's always going to be a steam valve. What are we looking at here? PayPal founders' next project, Libertarian Island Nations. Okay. Let me tell you, this is a very interesting story. Just go to Freedom's Phoenix and put in Libertarian Island, and it'll come up. In the archive, you go search by keyword, and it'll come in the search thing there. And what it is, Peter Thiel, the billionaire investor who co-founded internet payments processor PayPal and made a key initial investment in Facebook. Now, in the movie Social Network, he's the guy that gave him $500,000 just to get him kind of started thing. Well, what he's done is there's a thing called the Seasteading Institute. We've had him on. Friedman, the son of, there's Milton Friedman, David Friedman, his son, and I think his son is one of the guys involved in this thing. And it's just, you know, what they're going to do is these big giant oil platforms they have out in the ocean. They got all kinds of competitions for different designs and architecture and whatever. And what it is, you go out in the ocean and you got your own acreage out there and you can build your own cities and interconnect them and do it. And you're on the surface of the water. And who's your boss? What jurisdiction's over you? You know, was it some Navy destroyers going to come out and said, guess what? You're ours now? I mean, you know, maybe. But this is what the concept is. It said, look, man, what's the value of going out in the middle of the ocean with your business that doesn't have regulations? I mean, you could just be a server farm. You could be medical technology, the island of Dr. Moreau, and do your genetic whatever and build your Franken people or something. You know, I mean, they're you know, Dr. Evil wants to have his own little mountain volcano lair. Well, this is how you do it. Now, of course, there's a lot of good people that just want to be left alone. A lot of people want to do some research and just live or just be left alone. And they go out and we got plenty of ocean. What happens when it becomes economically viable instead of building a big plant or facility that you don't have to get all the environmental impact studies, you don't have to pay all the taxes, local tax, they keep changing everything. At what point does it become economically viable, feasible with technology and, you know, heavier than air transport? Big blimps that can just, you know, they fly out there, drop stuff off, go back and forth and so on. Ships, you have hydrofoils that go really fast. It's a couple 100 miles out there. Well, when you got your little sports speedboat that goes on the ocean and hydrofoils at 150 miles an hour, guess what? Not that far away. So I'm going, this is going to happen. And it's the precursor to space. Space is happening right now. Well, one of the other founders of PayPal, Elon Musk, SpaceX, he wants to go to Mars. So these guys go, you know what? You do that. We'll go out here in the ocean. We'll see how that works out. If that doesn't work, we'll be next in line for our own space station. So you have all this stuff happening, and your freedom just breaks out everywhere. Okay. Now this story here I have is I was on Adam Kokesh's Adam versus the Man show last week. We were talking about the BART system, you know, how they shut down cell phones. And my point is that, you know, if you didn't have the FCC controlling how we communicate, you could have all kinds of different kinds of communication. You know, we're going to, that's why we're so supportive of Spaceship One, was because you go to space, you can put up your own communication satellites. You can do whatever. You want to have internet too? I give you internet 47, you know, bite me. We can do whatever we want. We'll just broadband technology, take, you know, what Richard Branson do, buys up all these bankrupt communication satellites so you have the poor people in Africa can get internet access. Right. That's so we can just bypass this whole thing. Have a nice day. So I'm going, all right. What if we were able to just communicate? Well, it doesn't matter what BART does and shuts down their cell towers by turning off the power inside their subway system. But what do they want? They want you to get into their subway system, corral you, and then say whether you can communicate or not. Wow, that's bad enough right there. Then they're saying, well, as a threat to our customers. They're not customers. You know, you're not free market. You know, this is so subsidized. I'm just, you know, ew. Of course, they have to give that mindset. So I know this is coming. You know, this kind of stuff eventually makes it to, you know, a town near you. Downtown. Yeah, it's going to happen to you. So we have communication with the city of Phoenix here and the police department and so on. I have a meeting Monday morning at 8 o'clock with a couple of guys from, well, it used to be the Confrontation Prevention Squad. Let's go talk to Ernie so we don't have a confrontation. So the Phoenix Police Department representatives, community service there, and public information officers and so on. We're going to Starbucks, you know, near here Monday, 8 a.m. So Monday afternoon for the show, we're talking about what we discussed and what their policy is going to be, and they're stated and whatever. Are they going to shut down whenever we're going to have, because they're coming. They're coming. There's going to be some kind of protest, whatever, and it's usually in the winter months when it's nice and cool and great weather here in Arizona, and something happens. What are they going to do? They're going to shut it down? You know, you want to create a stir? Go ahead and start doing that. You start taking away the First Amendment, man, you're just, what's left? So we're going to have that discussion. Hopefully we can thwart any kind of evil intentions of, because Phoenix got their own problems. They're going to start raising taxes, I know what the police are thinking. We had this discussion when we did the TSA thing at Sky Harbor and talked to a bunch of them there at the workshop. And I'm kind of like, look, how's your pensions doing? Oh, get it? It's always financial. They're going to need to divert service money to you guys or tax us more or do what you created this enormous police state. You got all these cops. What are they doing? They're just going to be out there writing tickets, be the bad guys. And a bunch of guys we got on videotape, You can't help but be stupid because you hire these morons to be stupid, and that's why they have this confrontation prevention squad. Is not to protect us from them, is to protect them from lawsuits for screwing with us. So I'm going, okay, can we all be nice? Can you guys be there to protect our rights? Which they have demonstrated in the past when we approach them nicely, let them know what we're going to do, what we're expecting from them, and we can negotiate. They do their job right up until they don't. But we're going to try and hold off the police state as long as we can in our town. What are you doing in yours? Woo. There's lots more stuff to go on here. Maybe we'll get to it in our conversation with Mr. Hussain, talking about riots in London. We'll be right back.